Come on, how you have?
Welcome everyone to tonight's meeting of the Burlington City Council. Today is April 2nd, 2019. I'd like to take a moment to ask everyone to please silence all electronic devices. For our invocation tonight, we recognize Councilmember Harold Owen.
Bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, as we gather here tonight at this meeting, we ask that you be in our midst. Help us be able to discuss the business at hand in a reasonable manner and make decisions that will be best for all of our citizens. Let the work done here tonight come to fruition, and as we attempt to be fair to everyone who not only reside but also visit our community. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. We have a special recognition this evening, and this time I'd like to call forward Stephanie Chapman. Welcome.
Go here.
Do you want to tell us a little about telecommunicators?
Sure. Sorry, does everybody hear me? It is a week that they nationally recognize telecommunicators for all the hard work that they do throughout the year, any events that they hold, and just to give them praise for all the hard work and time and effort and training that they do.
Invite our council to step forward and do we have some telecommunicators?
I do, actually. I do have one more thing I would like to say. I would like to thank you, Mayor, the members of the City Council, and Manager Watkins, and our organizations for recognizing us with this proclamation. It is an amazing honor. I am pleased with these men and women in communications. They commit their time, hearts, and endeavors to guarantee the safety of our first responders. Above all, they are focused on serving the community by providing extraordinary customer service and acquiring the training that will prepare them to be ready for those emergencies. I cannot thank them enough for all that they do. Thank you.
It's my honor on behalf of the It's my honor on behalf of the City Council to present this proclamation proclaiming National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week from April 14th to April 20th, 2019. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services. And whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and the preservation of property. And whereas the safety of our police officers and firefighters is dependent on the quality and accuracy of the information obtained from citizens who telephone the Burlington Emergency Communications Center. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them with information, and ensuring their safety. And whereas public safety telecommunicators of Burlington have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. And whereas each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year. Now, therefore, the City of Burlington and City Council declares the week of April 14th through 20th, 2019 to be National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the City of Burlington in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keeps our city and our citizens safe. Congratulations and thank you. At this time, we recognize our interim city clerk, Beverly Smith.
Members of council, it is my responsibility to remind you to avoid your duty to avoid conflicts of interest. I ask if there are any potential conflicts in tonight's agenda items.
I do have one. It's going to be item E under the consent agenda. In the presentation last night, this resolution, it was mentioned by staff that the League of Municipalities were a big part of pursuing this legislation, and I do some part-time work with the League of Municipalities, so I would imagine that's the reason I need to recuse myself of this.
I make a motion to recuse Mr. Owen from
Second.
item.
Do we wish to move that item off the consent agenda to allow Councilmember Owen to vote on the other remaining items?
Correct.
Can I hear a motion for that?
So move.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor of moving item E off of the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And then we have item, let's see, before council are the minutes for March 19, 2019 City Council meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is passed. We have one add-on agenda item, item D, to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to add that?
Make a motion that we add the items D and E to the consent agenda.
Just item D.
Item D.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is passed. Item D is added to the consent agenda. For council is the agenda with item D added to consent agenda, item E added to the regular agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve that agenda?
Move we adopt the agenda with the addition.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is passed. Next is our consent agenda. These items are typically non-controversial. If anyone has any questions, please let us know. Item A, to set a date of public hearing for April 16, 2019, to receive citizen comments on the 2019-2020 draft annual action plan of the Community Development Program. Item B, to establish Sunday, May 5, 2019, as the date of advertisement of delinquent real property tax liens for the year 2018 pursuant to North Carolina General Statutes 105-369C. Item C, to approve Budget Amendment 2019-33 for Burlington Police Department to use contributions from the NRA Foundation for the purchase of pistol conversion kits and 9mm marking rounds for role-play training. Item D, to adopt a resolution to reject municipal agreement between the City of Burlington, North Carolina Department of Transportation for EB 5882 project. Do I hear a motion to approve the foregoing consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Consent agenda items are approved. Next is item E, to adopt a resolution in support of public-private broadband partnerships. Do I hear a motion regarding this item?
Move we approve the resolution. Adopt the resolution.
Any questions regarding the motion to adopt a resolution on item E? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is passed. Thank you, Councilmember Owen. Next, we have our public hearing for this evening. Item 1, a public hearing has been set to receive community comments to consider a proposed change of scope to the Arboretum Commons building at Willowbrook Park. At this time, we recognize Assistant City Manager Rachel Kelly.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. All right, this evening we come to you as a follow-up from your February 19th agenda item, during which you rejected the bids for the Arboretum Commons building as it was previously designed. Those bids came in ranging from $827,000 to $524,000. The program budget is about $350,000. As the original scope was designed after significant community feedback, this is a major element of the New Leaf Society Partnership Agreement with the City Council, and we felt that this needed a public hearing and some discussion regarding a scope change to get this within budget. The city has engaged architect John Plageman to do some work for us in reducing the scope from a full enclosed amenity building to restrooms and an open pavilion. And he's here tonight to describe those changes.
Come up there, Rachel, or?
You can stay there, I can drive for you if you, do you want to start at the old building?
Sure.
All right.
Welcome. Hey. Sorry about that. So we started off with this design that went out to bid. This design was based on 2 or 3 different public hearings that we had held. And the bids came in, like Rachel said, they're way over budget. So I was asked to take this design and the intent of it and try to capture a more economical design. The challenges I was given was keep the restrooms intact in both quantity and finish, and create an open air pavilion that the public could just use while they're at the park. And if it's okay, I can point or walk up there and how you want to do it.
Yeah, you're welcome to walk up and drive if you'd like.
So the main features of this, again, the men's room, the family restroom, and the women's restroom are all the same. We've taken there was a sink and cabinetry along this wall, and we've just added that in to one of the restrooms. We created this open-air pavilion with these knee walls, which is shown right here in the elevation, which will be a place where we can have information for the community, either dealing with the children's garden or the arboretum itself, or just upcoming community events that are happening along in the park. These walls will act as sort of a pass-through and allow people to kind of be out of the main circulation pathways as they're reading on the walls of whatever we post. This area on the side and this area on the side have 10-foot tall wood ceilings. And then this is open air exposed trusses all the way through, as represented kind of like this one, which is what we're taking from the original design, the materiality of the original design, and trying to carry that through. The hope is that with this open air kind of access through the pavilion, it will keep the framework of your approach through the arboretum to the different key points that have been designed in the site plan. So that, in a nutshell, is what we've done. So we're pretty confident that this will come in at or under budget. It should. So.
Any questions from council regarding the design changes before we begin the public hearing?
I do have one more thing to mention, just as a side note. In our New Leaf Society and City Agreement, we have included some programming stipulations regarding this building. I do think, after discussion with Tony and Lisa in the Recreation and Parks Department, that only a few modifications might be necessary if this is approved. That's obviously to change the word pavilion from amenity building. To remove the requirement for a facility attendant, since there's nothing to lock, sweep, and unlock, and they'll already have somebody taking care of the restrooms on a daily basis. And to dial back the weeknight events from 9 p.m. to 8 p.m. since it'll be outdoors. So those proposed changes are also at your seats.
Any questions regarding those items as well? All right, thank you. This time we'll have the public hearing regarding this item. If anyone on this side of the room would like to speak. If you could come to the microphone. If you could state your name and address.
I'm Bill Amadon. I live on Circle Drive. We've lived there for 4 years now, and came down here from Maine. When we saw the house on Circle Drive, we understood there was an arboretum down below, and it was one of the really appealing things to us. And the people in our neighborhood are really excited about what's happening there. We're waiting to see the buds come out of the trees and stuff and see what's really happening. But I'm disappointed this is going to happen, but I wonder what will be involved to eventually finish the hall and the rest of it, to close the other walls and have it turned into its original function. Has anyone thought about any cost to actually close those walls up at another date?
Sorry, we do
John, if you could
have that.
step to the microphone. Thank you, Bill.
So in this design, its intent is to be able to be enclosed in the future as funds are available. So we agree with you that having an enclosed event space is ultimately the goal. This is, I would say, step one in the plan. The structure of the building, the slab, it's going to be designed to where it can bear enclosed walls. So it's not going to be, its future hopefully will be enclosed if the funds are there.
Thank you. Anyone else from this side of the room who'd like to speak? Anyone from this side of the room? Do I hear a motion to close public?
Mr. Mayor, let me mention one thing.
Harold, if you wouldn't mind, do you mind if we
Yeah,
close public
sure.
hearing? Do I hear a motion to close public hearing?
So moved.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Do I hear a motion from council regarding this item?
I'd like to make a comment first.
Sure.
I had an email today from a property owner across the street who voiced their disapproval with this change based on potential activities that could carry an open-air shelter. So I just felt like I needed to at least express those opinions.
You elaborate on activities regarding the open-air shelter.
Well, I think for some people seem to believe in a park system when it's an open-air structure, it's not nearly as secure as it might be if it's an enclosed facility. And that may occur at some point in time, but the reality of it is in park systems throughout the country, there's many more open-air structures than there are enclosed structures. So I don't think that would be the case here, but that was just their opinion.
Thank you. Any other council questions regarding the project? Do I hear a motion regarding this item?
Let's see, I want to move to approve the change of the scope of the Arboretum Commons building at Willowbrook Park.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any questions regarding the motion to approve? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is approved. Thank you, John, for being here. Thank you, Rachel. This concludes our regular agenda. We have no public comment signed up for this evening. Do I hear any council comments? As always, I've got a couple items to mention. If you have your driver's license with you, I'd like for you to check real quick and see if there's a gold star on it. If not, you don't have a real ID. The DMV is working real hard to promote the Real ID program right now. The deadline for Real ID, before it comes into effect, is October 2020. At that point, you'll need a Real ID certified driver's license in order to fly in the United States. They are providing some Real ID Express days for those of you who don't have it yet to make the process a little easier. We all love those DMV lines. So they're making those lines a little shorter. Real ID Express days. The next one is in East Greensboro, so just around the corner, on April 27th. I would also like to mention we are just shy of 1 day away from the 2020 census. It'll be April 1st, 2020. And we all recognize the importance of the census in our nation and its impact on democracy as well as on how federal funds are distributed to communities like Burlington. And it's important that we keep that day in mind, but also recognize that we all have a role in making sure the census is conducted properly. And there is an opportunity for folks to get involved. You can sign up to be a census taker at 2020census.gov/jobs. It's a critical role in our community to help make sure that the census is conducted. Then we have our 8th annual Burlington Maker Fair happening on April 13th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Holly Hill Mall. This is the largest and longest running Maker Fair in the state of North Carolina, and we are proud to call it home here in Burlington. We expect thousands of folks to come from around the state, and I encourage folks to check out the event at Holly Hill Mall on the 13th. And then our always very popular Easter in the Park at City Park will be happening April 20th from 10 a.m. until noon. Hopefully the weather is good for it again this year. And a very special announcement for any Outlander fans out there. Outlander is a book series that happens to feature some of the history of Burlington and Alamance County, North Carolina. And we'll be hosting an event at the Paramount Theater on April 27th with the author Deanna Gabaldon, if I pronounced that correctly, and April 28th at the Alamance Battleground. So if you're an Outlander fan or know an Outlander fan, we encourage you to share those events and hope to see folks out there. Any other council comments?
I'll make just one comment. If you go to get your real ID, you need to have all the documentation necessary that is on their website.
Yeah.
Or you will wait in long lines for if you need to know later.
Yeah.
You will be asked to leave.
You can check out all those requirements on the DMV page if you search Real ID. But again, appreciate you mentioning that. It is a little more intensive than your normal DMV renewal.
Jim, do you have to give blood or anything?
Twice. One's coming, one's leaving.
Any other council comments? Do I hear a motion to adjourn? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Thank you, everyone, for attending tonight.